Some tips about nut and seed butters. I have just a few to show you today. First, the almond butter. My favorite brand is the Nuts to You Organic Raw Nut Butter. The butter will come with the oil separated. But once you mix it in, it will mostly stay blended for quite some time. I find the quickest way is to cut it in with a knife, getting the paste off the sides and off the bottom and then cutting in the oil. I pounded the bottom so hard one time it broke the glass, so I just wanted to warn you about that. There you go, nicely blended and creamy. Before we move on, please be sure it says raw or it's not. Another way to check is to look at the ingredients. If they say roasted nuts, it's not raw. Here we have the Artisana brand raw tahini, which is sesame seed butter. There isn't usually too much oil to blend into seed butters, but you'll still need to do that. Next is the coconut butter. Artisana calls it coconut butter, but this Nature's Way brand calls it raw coconut. It is both the oil and the meat. See how the oil is solidified on top? So don't just dig in thinking you have coconut butter. Just soften it in some hot water. Because coconut is fully saturated, it's not affected by heat as other oils, which makes it a good oil for cooking actually. See how it will soften, making it easy to blend in the oil with the meat? Beautiful and creamy. There are two things that always test positive for mold, and one is cooked rice, so you don't want to be storing your rice for longer than a day, and the other is peanuts. Now, peanuts are a legume. They're grown underground, and when they're stored in warm, humid silos, they become a perfect breeding ground for mold. And the mold on peanuts is aflatoxin, which is cancer-causing. So Colin Campbell, in his book, The China Study, said that he was in the Philippines combating malnutrition of the children there. And they were providing, their protein source was from peanuts because peanut crops could be grown pretty much anywhere. And he was a little concerned because he was hearing studies coming out of England that the aflatoxin on peanuts was causing liver cancer in rats, and they were finding that children under 10 years old in the Philippines were getting liver cancer. So he did a study further and found that the problem was pretty much in the peanut factories, because as the peanuts came along the conveyor belt, the fresher ones were being pulled for the cocktail peanut jars, and the rest were moved on down to the end, the moldier ones, the older ones, and they were made into peanut butter. And then of all the 29 jars of peanut butter that they took off the grocery shelves, they tested for contamination of 300 times the aflatoxin than would have been normally acceptable. So you think, okay, I'll get my peanut butter fresh. But here's another statistic for you. They say that the highest amounts of aflatoxin are found in peanut butter ground fresh in health food stores. You know, with my predisposition to breast cancer, I avoid all peanuts and peanut butter. Why risk it? You know, there's a better fatty acid profile in almond butter anyway. So why not scarf down a scoop?